All right. So first off, I just want to say thank you guys for coming on the call because it's always great to have people show up to the calls and just be accountable and um, especially when there's a lot of stuff going on and you guys showing up, it truly means that you're here. You have a why power that's driving you to come here. Um, so anyways, I've been really stuck in some of my personal development and I just started reading a new book, and I'm in it about a third of the way through this book, and so some things really hit on, I mean, kind of brought up some things regarding like how to win friends and influence people. It kind of is bringing me back a little bit to that. And some things that I think that maybe we can focus on for 2017, and hopefully this will definitely help just bring more of an impact into your guys' life and into the other people's lives that you guys are touching. And the more impact that you guys create, the more that the business will grow. So, first off, the book that I'm reading is Go Givers Sell More, is what it's called. I don't know if it's any different from just the plain Go Givers. So I'm going to see somebody who has read that book and decide on if I'm going to actually get the Go Givers, if they're two completely different things or not. But anyways, so he talks a lot about how like we go about sales, about how sales are backwards. Like we see it as convincing people to do something that they don't want to do, or about pushing people onto things. And so not only us, I know that we've had thoughts like that, but other people, we don't want people pushing things on us. And so sometimes we start to believe like, hey, I'm not good at selling things, I can't do this. And that's how this whole sales things work. And sometimes we can think it's about like taking advantage of people. Like I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever had thoughts like that. I don't know if I want to say that I had thoughts like that in the beginning. Like, oh, man, it probably wasn't until that first initial transformation that I made that I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like everybody needs it. And I even remember in the beginning of after doing 2 rounds of Insanity, whenever anybody came to me about working out, what did I do? I tried to push Insanity on people, no matter what. Like I didn't learn the whole concept at that time of, okay, figure out, what goals they have, figure out what they've done, figure out whatever. Cause I'm like, if I can do it at 238 pounds and having back surgery, then anybody can, and everybody's got to do Insanity because Insanity is awesome and it works. And I was just kind of setting people up for failure, right? But I was excited about it because I figured anybody and everybody can do it, which they can, but it might not work for everybody. So first off, what we want to talk about is that sales isn't about pushing things on people. It's not about taking advantage of people. In fact, it's completely different. It's we have this mentality, or we need to switch our mentality, like switch our mental flip in our mind about sales is not about selling. This is about giving people different advantages and different opportunities. And the truth is that sales at its best is, it's not, like I said, it's not selling. It's totally opposite. It's about giving. It's about giving our time, giving our attention, giving our, counseling, education, empathy, and value. I mean, you guys probably know that with conversations that you have, you've probably had counseling sessions, right? Sometimes you're like, whoa, but it's great because when people are speaking to you and they are opening up and they're being vulnerable, then they trust you. And that's something that's great because you're giving that time and attention. And there's some things I'll talk about how we need to perceive things and where it can go from there. So one thing that I thought that was interesting that he brought up is that the word sell comes from an old English word, and I'm probably not even going to pronounce this right, but I think it's like sellan. It's sellan, which means to give. So it actually means to give. So I don't know about you guys, and I think both of you guys that are on the call tonight are introverts, right? You guys are more shy, not really wanting to open up to people. Alex, I know that you've made a huge leap and bounds as far as opening up and really utilizing the live videos, which is great, because for somebody who is an introvert, to do that is amazing. But a lot of people shy away from, you might have people that shy away from the business because they don't want to be that icky salesperson. They don't believe that they're good at selling. And again, they just don't like things being pushed on them. And I think once we start to open up and speak to people that have that issue, we can let them know that it's real, that's not what this is about, that this business is about helping others, and it's about giving people this gift of health that we feel can prevent so much. And one thing that I want to hit on tonight, there's like two different things that I really want to hit on. And one is really adding value. He does talk about like 5, and I'm going to see if I can pull this up really quick. He talks about the 5 laws of success. And the laws are the law of value, which is the first one. Then the law of compensation is the second. Then the law of influence, which is the third. The law of authenticity, which is the fourth. And the law of receptivity. I think that's what it is. I gotta love big words. But I went through the law of value, and I just started going through the law of compensation. And so I kind of wanted to hit on some points there about adding value. And like I said, it brought me back to when I read How to Win Friends and Influence People, about being more interested in people than being interested in what we have to offer, about our products and everything. And I know it's so hard because we message people, we build relationships with people, and in our mind, we're like, all right, we're going to, like, this is awesome. We want to give this to people. And just our thought process can be backwards. And the way that he is bringing this up is that the more that we focus on people, the more that we're interested in them, the more that we just really add value to them over and over, the more we give, the more things will come to us. So let's see here. I'm trying to figure out some little notes that I wrote down. So typical sales, they focus on like the presentation, right? Like you see a lot of business things focus on their presentation, like how their products are, how this and that. But what we do is our approach is going to be focusing on great questions. And John C. Maxwell has that book, Great Leaders Ask Great Questions. And when we ask great questions and we really listen, and we spend more time listening than we spend on talking, this is where we're more interested in them and adding value to them and letting them open up to us and being able to focus on them and what their goals are. And one thing that we need to start doing is being completely positive in our messages, in our time with people, that whether a sale happens or not, that's the thing, is letting our focus be positive on the outcome of it, whether they say yes or whether they say no, or whether it even gets brought up. And you're probably like, okay, well, you know what? This is a business, right? We are building this business not just to add value to people and not just to, do this, but we want to grow a business that provides an income for us, right? So we have to create value. We have to touch people's lives and build networks and be real and stay open. So we have to shift our focus from getting to giving. And honestly, it's not just a nice way to live a life and conduct a business, but it's very profitable. If you look at a lot of the top coaches, you'll see that the value that they add in people every single day. And, we don't even see what happens behind the scenes, but they've grown because of the value that they add to each and every single person. But living generously, he said, creates a swelling tide that raises all ships, not just ours, not just the other person's, but everyone. So I want to talk to you guys about adding the value. I don't know if you guys have done a free group before, but one thing that I would love for you guys to focus on is how you can add value to people by starting your own free group. And in starting a free group, I want you guys to focus on something that you're passionate about, or something that it doesn't have to do anything with health and fitness. It may take some time to generate as far as what you guys want to do. But I did the Happiness Project, I want to say November. It was November 1st to the 14th. It's a 14-day. And it was really great. And I decided to put in a lot of value. I did some live videos in there, like speaking about the questions that were asked. And it was really just a great group that generated a lot of feedback. It definitely, more people were interested in speaking on it than in any of probably in all of the free groups that I set up for clean eating, which is funny because I've set up how many free groups for clean eating and nobody ever posted in them at all. So one thing to start thinking about is things that you're passionate about, or things that maybe you feel like you can add value on. Julie, I don't know if you were in the group with us for the Happiness Project, but maybe you can join me on this next one and find people to come in and see if that's something that you'd be interested in on starting in 2017. Because like I said, it has all the posts set up available for it. And especially when we have these times where there's craziness in our life, it really helps. So I'll set out, I'll make that event and that group, and then we can get it set up and we can start it whenever people are ready. Maybe January 1st would just be the good time to set that up, right after the holidays. So, Alex, I know that you like games. You're very knowledgeable in computers. So I'm just trying to think of some things that maybe you could create a group on, have it run for a week or two, and just really add value, and just where, you're inviting whoever joins, you invite them to add one or two people. Like, that's your requirement. Like, hey, this is going to be an awesome group. This is what we're going to do. This is why we're doing this. And that way you're just getting to know and build more people that are like-minded like you, or that are interested in the things that you like to do and stuff. So whatever you come up with, I would love to hear a few ideas of what you think that you would like to do in adding value for people, just so that we can expand this. So he put on there that the task is not to create value in order to create a sale, but in order to do anything, it's creating value for people's lives. So, and he was like, trust me, it'll pay off. So to be successful in our business, we need sales to happen though, correct? Yeah, we kind of do. They will, but right now, complete focus is on one thing, and that's providing value for other people. Just constant value. A true giver knows that giving is a tide that raises all ships, and it allows you to be a person of value to others while doing very well for yourself. That was one thing that I highlighted in my book, because I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like, when we continuously add value to people and we raise people up each and every single day, not only does it raise everybody up, but it also helps us doing very well for us, Okay, I'm going to go through my notes again here. Okay. Attitudes are contagious. That was like one thing I put in big, bold letters. I know that, or I'm sure when you guys do go to top coaches pages, or anybody who, like, doesn't even have to be a top coach, but people who I follow, as far as like Craig Groeschel is somebody that I follow, and the attitude that they have, it's contagious, right? Like, you're like, I want that. I want whatever you're on. I want it. And that's something that we have to start thinking about when we are generating our social medias. You know, if we're making a post, like, let's say we're frustrated. I don't know if you guys saw my post today, but I have definitely over the last few days have not been myself, as far as being able to kind of push my emotions aside and push my feelings aside. And I wanted to make a post about that, because normally I am all, hey, you know what, no matter what, like, I've got this, I get into my word, things are great. And I just haven't been able to. I've been angry, very, very angry, and frustrated. And so I was like, you know what? I'm making a post about this. But the way that I made the post and what I said in it was not like flipping out and this and that. So there's a way to be open and speak about things that you're going through without sharing everything, and without making it to be like, oh my gosh, this girl just, like, I don't want to read what she has to say. Like, how many of you guys scroll through your note or your news feed, and you're seeing someone and they're like, oh my flipping God, this and that and da 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 da, and, you know, just going on. And I'm like, all right, I really don't want to come to your page anymore. Like, whatever you're going through, I feel bad for you, but oh my goodness, did you even read what you said? Like, you know, we all have those people that we're like smashing our head against the wall, that white guy on the Facebook stickers where he's like this against the wall. Like, oh my goodness, that's what we want to do. Right? I love that little guy. So think about things like, Julie, whatever, with what you're going through right now, great. You don't have to open up about what you're going through, but you can definitely speak about how you're feeling and let people know what you're going to do to strive through this time. But also be open and be like, you know what, this is the time where I'd love to see more people speaking positive, or like let people know that you're going to need them. Like, there's a difficult time coming, a lot of mountains and battles that I'm going to be going through. But you know what? I showed up on our team call today. Like, that's huge. Like, I showed up on our team call tonight because I have goals set for my family, and I'm going to accomplish this. And it's going to be hard, and I'm going to need a lot of people for accountability at this time. But that's the great thing of our team and our lifestyle group, and then all of you guys who are listening to this or reading this, you know, just, you can be able to open that up and speak that without telling people what's going on right now. And people are going to be like, oh my gosh, okay, I want that. Like, I want to be able to say that when I'm going through a hard time. So attitudes are contagious. Just remember that when you're making the post. You know, he talked about how, when he talks about the second law about compensation, you know, we've heard in Beachbody many of times, like, our paycheck is a direct reflection of how many lives we change, right? And he said that our compensation is not a reflection of our goodness, of our worthiness, of our merit, or even our hard work. It's an impact. It's an echo of our impact. So our compensation is an echo of our impact. That was powerful. So the first law is creating more value. So more value than you take in payment, right? You constantly add value. You are constantly figuring out what you can do to help other people, whether or not it's going to make a sale. You don't even think about the whole sale. It's like that foundation of success in creating that value for people. But we know that creating that value isn't just going to progress anything, right? It's not going to bring in sales. It's not going to bring in a cash flow. So the second law says that in addition to adding value to the process, you must also touch as many people's lives as possible with the added of value. So next thing that made me think of was when we do have people that want to commit to themselves, that want to make that investment in themselves, that decide to join our lifestyle group, what are we doing to stay completely accountable to them? What are we doing to make sure that, hey, this is what they want to do? Because how many times have we brought on people? I'm totally guilty of this. And all of a sudden they're in our group and life happens, or we're focused on all these other things that we forget to message them, or we forget to speak to them, and all of a sudden they're not in the group for 2 weeks and they didn't even start their program. I'm guilty of this. And sometimes it's because I remember I had like 9 people start coaching at one point in time. And I was like, oh my goodness. So what did I do? I worked with people who were like, hey, I want to do this. And, they kept accountable with me, but I didn't really reach out to those that joined. And, it makes me feel like a horrible person. It makes me feel like a bad leader. So when we have people that decide to make that commitment, we need to make sure that we have some sort of system, that we have some sort of, maybe we're writing it down on our notepad, or we create a little, hey, sir, or Siri, oh gosh, my phone's plugged in. So now it just started. Siri wants to know what I want. But anyways, maybe we would create a reminder that at 10 o'clock every single day, we are messaging this person. Just a quick message. Now, one thing that I started in our team, I have 6 people that I am working with from today, we're starting tomorrow, from tomorrow until the health bet begins, where we are going to do 2-minute accountability calls. And these 2-minute accountability calls are going to be every single day. And it's going to be only 2 minutes though. Like, I'm going to set the timer on my phone, and once the timer goes off, it's done. We don't speak anymore. But what I'm looking at this doing is it's really going to add value. It's really going to bring an accountability to the whole thing. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it onto the challengers, so that I'm going to work with 5 to 10 people where we can do that. So I can help them keep accountable. Like, how is your nutrition? Did you get your workout in? This and that. Because I know that if I touch someone's life, that not only is their life going to change, that they're going to have this awesome transformation, that they're going to be excited about it, but they're going to share it with people. And that's where we start this whole cycle and process over. So adding that value, taking that time, keeping them accountable, and really being there for them and touching their life is that second process in the success that he talks about. And again, it takes up our time, but it's so worth everything. So the second law really means that a big part of what we are doing is continually finding new people to meet, right? It's continuously finding new people to meet. And instead of wondering, okay, instead of us worrying about prospects, he brought up the whole view of prospects. Prospects, the definition had to do with a future people, right? We talk about future prospects and this and that, and that's okay. But instead of worrying about, this person is a future prospect, we are supposed to be like, what are the prospects of touching this person's life? What future, what future event or words can I say to this person to touch this person's life? So another thing that I would love to bring back, because reading all this, thinking about all this, and just the whole adding value, doing a free group, making sure that we're always doing a free group every single month based on something that you are interested in, that you can add so much value. It doesn't matter what it's about. It doesn't matter if you even open up about them joining a group, but that you're adding value to them, that they're going to be able to just be open. And again, I know that this will take time, but I know that in you guys giving, that you will receive much more. It's going to come back 10 times fold. Bringing back the form. I know both of you guys know what form is, and I'll just go over it very quickly so that anyone who is watching this can get into this. But when we're reaching out to people, maybe you are going off of a friends list on Facebook, and what we need to be doing is going back into the form process, shooting them a message, being like, I can't believe this year is almost over with. I know I haven't talked to you in a while. How's your family doing? Or maybe you added a new friend, you sent a friend request to someone and they accepted your friend request, sending them a message just being like, hey, thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I love building relationships. And of course, if it's a girl talking to a guy or a guy talking to a girl, maybe we need to watch what we say on, I love building your relationships with people, but you can bring up something different. And then just asking them, where are you from? What do you do? Start getting in the whole forming process. So form talking about their family, asking questions as far as their family goes. The O, talking about and speaking about their occupation, figuring out what they do, what they love to do, how long they've been doing this. Then their recreation, things that they enjoy to do, do they love to travel, or even asking the questions of what would they do if they could do anything, like if money wasn't an option. Those are always great questions to ask. And then the last part would be the message, and that's bringing up the message of, by the way, we've been talking for a little while here. I'm getting ready to start this lifestyle group. I'm not sure if you're interested. Maybe you even want to just open up a message about your free group that you're doing. I'm not sure if you're interested in this, but if you or anybody that would be interested, or would you or anyone be interested? So bringing back that form really builds that trust, builds that relationships, adds free value to people, gives people someone to speak to, right? Because a lot of times we feel like we don't have anyone that listens to us, right? We might give our ear to people over and over and over and over, and then all of a sudden we have all these things that we want to speak about, and we don't have anyone to talk to. We don't have anyone that's going to listen to us. And I think a lot of people feel that way. So when you're giving people that time and that attention and just being able to listen to them and ask great questions over and over and over, it's going to lead to something else. So in finishing up this, and again, this was just two, bits and pieces of two of the laws that he talks about in this book. And I hope that these were great points. I know that you guys have been in this for a while, but really just getting into how we're speaking on our social media, getting laser focused on adding value in our social media, then adding value to people through their messages by using, by forming, and taking this whole concept of, okay, is this going to turn into a sale, or I'm going to talk to this person because of a sale? And I know that it's really hard. It is, because we want to give this to people. We want people to enjoy and to change their lives the way that it's changed ours. But we have to go into this like, how can I change this person's life? What can I do to listen to them, add value to them, and make an impact in their life? How can I listen more? How can I, be attentive to them? So this last part I want to read from the book because I highlighted it. It said, touching a lot of lives means meeting a lot of people. You will only meet a lot of people if you genuinely want to. And the only way you will be successful at touching their lives is if you become comfortable being with them. Not presenting to them or sorting and qualifying them, but simply being with them. Being great at sales does not take exceptional verbal ability or an extroverted personality. What it does take is the desire to get to know people and the ability to become comfortable being with people. So you're not meeting people in order to make them customers. You're meeting people because they're people and you're interested in their lives. And that's where it comes into finding people who you can, finding common interest, finding things that you're interested in that you can speak about and then open up to their whole life. And again, we know that in generating and adding value and speaking to them through messages, that they're going to come back and turn around and see what we have to say on our social media. And when we're speaking about how Shakeology has changed our life, when we're speaking about how it's, here all these sweet treats are coming out, cookies, of course. That's what the holidays are about, right? Santa's coming, all this other great stuff. So cookies are being made. And how other can I satisfy my cravings than Shakeology? How the programs have made an impact in your life, and even the business, how us as a family, like how I've become great friends with my team, with you guys, and I think you guys probably know more about my life than people in my hometown, like I feel more comfortable. It's crazy. So speaking about those things, because some people will turn out to be interested in what we have to offer. Others may not, but so it said the point here is not to sell as much product as possible, nor is it to sell product to as many people as possible. It is to touch as many lives as possible. So this is the book again. It's called Go Givers Sell More. And I just started this yesterday, and I can't get enough of it. So as far as that goes, do you guys have any questions? Do you guys feel that 2017 we can focus on giving more and really be laser focused on our social media? And I'll try to get as many videos and trainings as I can about our social media, and maybe come up with more ideas as far as free groups and, or mastermind together as far as what you guys like to do, being like, hey, Ashton, this is things that I'm interested in, or this is things that I feel like I can add value to. What type of free group, what type of free group could I do where we can all work together and grow this team into something where you guys have this massive big team on your own? How does that sound? Good? Okay, awesome. Well, that is all that I have for you guys. Definitely. That sounds good. Just text me and then we can get something set up, Alex. Do you guys have any questions? Are you good? Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for coming on. It really means a lot. And I hope that you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.